Ryder stated, unable to wait any longer. A muscle in Con's jaw jumped. John Campbell was found dead this morning. Everyone stilled, their faces expressing shock, surprise, and disbelief as Con's words penetrated. No one said a word as they comprehended what John's death meant to Dreagan. Laith closed his eyes, feeling remorse for John's death. The Campbells had owned the 50 acres bordering Dreagan for countless generations. It began shortly after the war with the humans, once the kings sent the dragons to another realm. There was a doorway onto Dreagan. It was hidden, but could be used by their enemies. Since no Dragon King's magic could touch the area around the doorway, it became apparent that they would have to trust a human to do it for them. The Campbells, one of the few groups of humans who didn't wage war on Dreagan, stepped forward, and so the watch of the Campbells had begun. Only the head of the family, the one responsible for ensuring that no one accidentally stumbled upon the doorway, knew the secret of Dreagan and what was being guarded. It continued in that vein for thousands of years through wars and invasions. The Campbells kept the Dragon King's secret, and the kings, in turn, protected them. How Laith was going to miss John's laughter and his jokes. John hadn't just protected Dreagan, he'd become a friend. "Who's going to guard the land?" Laith asked. Kellen glanced at Con. "John has a daughter, Iona." "That's right, I forgot about her," Rhys said. Hal frowned as he sat forward and rested his arms on his legs. "She's been gone for a while, eh?" "A very long while," Con said. 20 years, in fact. Laith shifted to get comfortable in the chair. "John often talked of Iona. He showed me her photographs when he'd come into the pub. For as long as I knew him, and as often as we chatted, he never told me what happened with his wife." Con stood and walked behind his tall chair, leaning his arms upon the back. "One of John's responsibilities was to remain on the land. He remained when his wife left and took Iona," Hal said softly. Laith shifted his gaze back to Con. "He could have left for that. He took his oath to us seriously," Kellen explained. "To help with the pain of his loss, he buried himself in his writing after that." Warwick nodded slowly. "He was an excellent writer." "That he was." Con looked at the file folder again. Laith dropped his arms to his lap. "What's in the file, Con? If it was only a matter of ensuring his daughter take up her father's duties, we wouldn't have been called here. Iona stepping into her duties is another matter entirely. I'll get to that in a moment. What's in the folder is a report. John didn't die by natural causes," Con said, as he locked his gaze on Laith's. "He was murdered." Tristan mumbled a string of curses beneath his breath and sat forward. Ryder remained as he was, his body going taut. Rhys kept his eyes on the floor, a hand clenched at his side. Kellen pushed away from the door and walked to stand beside Con. "John's old Range Rover was found on its side coming down the mountain from his house. The SUV's fall killed him instantly." "How do we know it's murder?" Ryder asked. Con said, "The police inspector knew John and I were acquaintances, and since Dreagan is such a large holding in the area, he came to me with the findings. John's death was first classified as an accident, but upon inspection of the vehicle, they realized it was murder. The brake line had a near-invisible puncture in it, enough to drain the brake fluid and cause the brakes to go out." "That could happen to any vehicle," Warwick said. "Old vehicles like that need repairs. Perhaps he didn't attend to the rover. The hole in the line was a perfect circle. It wasn't frayed as it would be if the line was worn." Con straightened. "I've asked the inspector to keep things quiet. He was happy to oblige, since he doesn't want word leaking just yet." Laith inhaled deeply and slowly released it. "What do you want us to do?" "Keep an eye out